The trees stand tall and silent, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers across the night sky, weaving through a curtain of soft, silvery mist. The air is thick with an unsettling stillness, amplified by the distant rustle of leaves, whispering secrets you cannot quite comprehend. You find yourself in an old cabin, tucked away in the heart of the woods, a sanctuary of solitude, far removed from the clamor of the outside world. The twin flickers of candlelight cast elongated shadows on the wooden walls, their glow painting the space with a warm, inviting hue, which contrasts sharply with the chill creeping through the cracks in the cabin's time-worn exterior. You had hoped for a retreat, a place to unwind and lose yourself in the wilderness, leaving behind the burdens of city life. The weekend stretches before you like a blank canvas. Each breath introduces the crisp scent of pine, earthy and invigorating, as you sit on the worn couch, staring into the shallow depths of the fireplace, which beckons you to kindle a fire. But you feel a strange reluctance, an undercurrent of dread that whispers in the back of your mind, urging you to remain still, watchful. As the sun sinks below the horizon, darkness envelops the world outside, transforming the cabin into a fortress against the encroaching shadows. You stir, grabbing the matches from the mantel, the tiny flame dancing fiercely as you ignite a handful of kindling, the crackling fire promptly thawing the chilly room. The glow wraps around you, momentarily warding off the creeping unease as the log structure creaks under the weight of ancient memories. You settle into the company of the fire, allowing its warmth to wrap around you like a comforting embrace. The outside world fades, but the quiet feels too thick, almost tangible, as if it carries with it an ancestral weight. You pour yourself a mug of coffee, its bitter aroma rising to greet you. The first sip warms your insides, and you feel a flicker of contentment, but still, that nagging sensation persists. You rise from your seat, wandering slowly to the small kitchen nook, your footsteps echoing slightly on the hardwood floor. There is an uneasy calm here, a sense that something is watching, waiting just outside the frame of your vision. You shake your head, dismissing it as a trick of your imagination fueled by the isolation. Perhaps it's the thought of being so far from civilization, surrounded only by the dense and gargantuan trees that close in around you. After finishing your coffee, you decide to explore a bit. You grab a flashlight from a drawer, feeling the reassuring weight in your palm. You step outside, the ragged wooden stairs creaking underfoot as you descend into the night. The world outside is bathed in moonlight, illuminating the wildest surrounding you. The trees loom like ancient sentinels, their twisted forms heightened by the pale light. As you wander further into the woods, you can hear the symphony of nighttime life, crickets chorusing and the occasional rustle mingling with the sounds of your own breath. You are engulfed in an oddly intoxicating quietude when you happen upon a small, overgrown path, faintly visible, winding deeper into the darkness. Curiosity piqued, you decide to follow it, the beams of your flashlight flickering over the damp foliage. After a few minutes, you find yourself before an abandoned structure, a peculiar shack leaning precariously on rotting timbers. It appears to be forgotten, swallowed whole by the encroaching underbrush. You hesitate, the hairs on the back of your neck pricking up as that old familiar feeling returns, the sense of being watched. You brush it off, convincing yourself the shack is merely an oddity of the woods, a remnant of days long gone. Stepping inside, you feel the air grow heavy with an unsettling stagnation. Your flashlight reveals the disarray, a table overturned, its surface cluttered with broken glass and faded yellowed papers. It looks as though it had been the site of a hurried exit, a sense of urgency that clings to the wall, less like stale smoke. As you sift through the remnants of forgotten lives, you discover a small diary, its spine cracked and worn. You flip it open, revealing pages filled with hurried, frantic scrawls. The words seem to leap off the page, fragments of sentences finally bruised by time. "It watches," one entry reads. "We can hear it. Always looking, waiting." Each line deepens the chill encircling you. You glance around, the once cozy cabin now a distant memory, replaced by a rising tide of dread. Your heart races in your chest as you read further. The entries become increasingly erratic, scribbled notes that describe strange noises, people going missing, and the weight of knowing something lurks just beyond sight. "If we don't leave tonight, It will take us. We must flee, another line warns. The final entry simply states, I can't see it, but I know it's coming. A shudder ripples through you, icy fingers skating down your spine. The cabin was a retreat, not a prison. You dropped the diary back onto the floor, quickly retreating from the shack as though the very air inside had begun to weigh down upon you. The feeling of being watched amplifies, and with it, the raw instinct to escape this place, to return to the safety of the cabin. Stumbling back along the path, you glance over your shoulder, the flashlight beam puncturing the darkness but revealing nothing unnatural. Just the oppressive quiet that cloaks the woods. You reach the cabin's doorstep, breathless and unsettled. You close the door behind you with a heavy thud, leaning against it as if to barricade against the nightmarish remnants of your discovery. As you attempt to shake off the unease, your mind races with thoughts of the diary. It had felt undeniable, the tension in those handwritten words rubbing raw at your already frayed nerves. You try to breathe, counting the steady rhythm of your heartbeat, willing your mind back to the comfort of the flickering fire and the familiarity of the cabin's walls. But sleep eludes you. The darkness outside feels deeper, pregnant with unnameable things, and you feel the shadows of the trees pressing against the cabin's windows, encroaching, whispering. You pull a blanket around your shoulders, the fabric feeling like a flimsy barrier against the verses rattling through your mind. As hours drift on, the woods maintain their looming presence, and every creak or groan from the cabin seems to carry a sinister weight. You close your eyes, trying to summon sleep, but every time you do, the memory of the diary, of something lurking, bubbles back to the surface. Images of the shack flicker through your mind, and the knowledge that someone once had felt this same horror piercing your very being. Just as you begin to drift, a sound cuts through the sharp silence. It's faint, almost imperceptible, but it drags you to awareness. A rustle, not the typical noises of the woods, but rather a deliberate movement. You sit up, heart pounding, straining to listen, every sound now amplified in the stillness. The noise becomes clearer, a soft scratching or scraping, as if something is dragging against the side of the cabin, testing its strength. You rise from your place by the fire, creeping toward the window. Your breath catches in your throat, heart racing as you peer outside into the thick darkness. Shadows seem to ripple just beyond the threshold of your flashlight's beam, the trees shifting in an invisible current, but no discernible shape can be made out. The scratching sound has ceased, but the feeling of being watched returns, insurmountable and suffocating. A moment spirals into eternity as you realize you are not alone. Pressing against the glass, you strain to see, but the woods are an impenetrable cocoon, no hint of what might be lurking amidst the trees. Fear blooms inside you, frantic and raw. Uncertainty gnaws at your thoughts, relentless, a vice clamping down on your chest. In a moment of desperation, you fumble for your phone, the last tether to the outside world. The screen lights up, casting a fleeting glow across the tough room. You tap through the options, fingers trembling, but there is no signal here, no escape or safety net should something be out there waiting for you. You step back from the window, heart racing, hands damp and clammy against your sides. Another sound jolts through the cabin, this time a soft thud. It's upstairs, the unmistakable noise of something shifting on floorboards above you. Your skin prickles, every instinct screaming at you to flee. Yet there's nowhere to go, nothing around but the eerie woodlands and the unrelenting dark surrounding you. You approach the staircase, the shadows dancing along the walls with every flicker of firelight. Each creak beneath your feet becomes a drum echoing in your ears as you ascend slowly, hands brushing against the slick banister. The oppressive silence envelops you, magnifying each sound until there's a cacophony in your mind. The upstairs holds a room, the door slightly ajar, creaking invitingly. Cautiously, you inch forward, holding your breath. You peer inside, and as your flashlight sweeps the dusty confines, the air grows heavier. There's nothing in the room but silence, an old bed, stripped down, and the remnants of forgotten furniture engulfed in dust. You turn to leave, but a whisper echoes in your mind, the lines from the diary replaying. It waits. A gnawing urge propels you forward, curious now, compelled to unearth what lies beneath the weight of decay in this house of memories. You cross the threshold, and step deeper inside. You hesitate, feeling as though you've crossed an unseen boundary. The air shifts, energy crackling with an indefinable tension that claws at your mind. A low thrum hums beneath the floorboards, something that reverberates within you, deep and resonant. As you scan the room again, your heart nearly stops. A pile of dusty boards leans precariously against the wall, almost obscured by the shadows. Driven by an instinct you can't quite place, you gravitate towards it. You realize they're not just boards, they cover something beneath, something hidden away. You drop to your knees, fingers trembling as you grasp the edges, pulling them aside. A trapdoor lies beneath, ancient and weathered. Your heart pounds, unrelenting urgency pushing your thoughts forward before caution can intercept. You wrestle with the latch, prying it open, the hinges protesting, and the musty air escaping into the space around you. What lies below is shrouded in darkness, but a faint gleam catches your eye. You reach down, fingers brushing against a smooth, cold surface. A small box, imbued with an uncanny heaviness, as if it were thrumming with life. You pull it free, its weight sending a shiver through your body. Now trembling with anticipation and fear, you glance towards the open hatch. The house seems to hold its breath. An unyielding silence wrapped around you as you flip open the box. Inside, you find a collection of strange symbols etched onto delicate papers, their meanings eluding you. A corner of the box reveals a small mirror, tarnished but somehow glowing, reflective emptiness staring back at you. A whisper tingles in the shadows around you, and the urge to leave sinks in deeper. You stumble back, dropping the box as dread washes over you. A dreadful realization that sweeps through you. Something has been here, something the diary spoke of, something that may still linger in the echoes of these forgotten rooms. The air grows dense, vibrating with an energy as you turn towards the door. But before you can retreat, the house shudders, a low groan echoing through its wooden beams. A warning, a reminder that it is alive, that it knows you are there. You turn, bolt through the room, and race down the stairs, feeling chaos erupt within these walls, as if whatever was once contained is breaking free. You burst through the cabin's door back into the wild, the cool night air roar against your skin as you skitter toward the woods, heart racing violently. Yet no matter how far you run, the isolation wraps itself firmly around you, an inescapable cloak tightening with every step you take, its very essence clawing at the edges of your sanity. You stop, panting, the woods sprawling endlessly around you. Voices stir in the trees, low and insistent, threading through the night air like wisps of smoke. Where do you go? How do you escape what watches, waits? You feel it, the palpable presence, the weight of invisible eyes tracing your form with unsettling precision. A tug of hysteria rises within you as you contemplate fleeing further into the woods, away from the cabin that had promised refuge, but now grips you with chilling realization. The shadows seem to move, coalescing into shapes that tease the limits of your perception. You wish you could rid your mind of the words you read, tear the pages from your memory of those frenzied entries that punctured the veil of normalcy. The very fabric of the night seems tainted, a blot of darkness that refuses to let go. In a fit of desperate movement, you race along the overgrown path, branches scraping at your skin, breath hitching, adrenaline pushing you deeper into the relentless gloom of the forest, a chaos of manic energy urging you on. But the deeper you go, the more the woods twist around you, and just as your hope begins to dim, you realize you are lost. And still, the whispers grow stronger, cryptic murmurs threading through the trees, wrapping around your senses, the words familiar now. It watches, it waits. Each breath becomes a struggle as you glance back towards the cabin, until you can no longer tell where it ends and the darkness begins. Days might pass, or perhaps mere minutes, time unspooling and warping within the confines of your mind as you wander, trapped in this tangled labyrinth. You grasp the mirror tightly, the only anchor in a spiraling void, the frigid reflections stirring dangers you cannot name. Every rustle, every fleeting shadow carries the weight of chasing presences, and you begin to understand. It is there, somewhere within the woods, something bound to silence, spiraling with an insatiable hunger for the stories of the lost. The final image ingrained in your heart, the box, the diary, echoing back to you in their unfurling dread. You feel it now, against your back, the breath of something unseen, whispering the secrets of the trees, the dark. An inescapable pull draws you towards the grabbing grasp of night until the very landscape bends and distorts in a haunting dance of shadows. And as you whirl around, aware that the trees become something more, you are left with the haunting realization there is no convenient end. Only an endless loop of uncertainty that lingers like the echoes of the cabin, whispering its knowledge to you even as the dawn shatters the dark above, a promise of light that never arrives. You are lost, always watching, always waiting. What was once your retreat has become a kind of prison, where the woods weave themselves deeper around you, a labyrinth designed to ensnare, the echo of those haunting words whispering eternally within the depths. It watches, it waits, the truth to which none may escape.